How to make a relationship less boring. Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And this is a subject that I get asked about quite frequently in my one-on-one coaching sessions, in the YouTube comments, via DM. And if you are watching this video, then my assumption is that you are in a situation currently where you feel like, what are we doing? Right? There's no excitement, there's no happiness, or at least it's not as exciting as it used to be. And you kind of just feel like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Am I going to have to accept the fact that I am now in a boring relationship and this is just how it's going to be? Well, the truth of the matter is no, you don't have to accept that. And there's things that you can do in order to change the current dynamic of the relationship to make it more exciting, to make it more fun. And there's three things that you should be taking a look at. So let's start with number one. You probably have some accountability in this too, right? If the relationship is boring, that would also mean that there is a part of this that would imply that you're a little boring too, right? And I'm not trying to say that you are, all the time you are a boring person, but maybe what has happened is in the relationship, the dynamic of the relationship and the way things have developed over a period of time, it has brought out more of the less exciting, less adventurous part of your personality. And when we are trying to figure out how to make the relationship exciting, if you're trying to figure out how to get out of this kind of slump of boringness, you got to take a look at yourself, right? A relationship is 50-50. It's a two-way street. So you can't just take a look at your partner and say, they're boring. They don't want to do anything. Everything that I recommend or that I ask if they want to do, they don't want to do it. It is very possible that you are doing the same thing. It is very possible that you may not find things that they find exciting to be exciting. And you're also rejecting and you're also not wanting to participate. So taking a look at yourself and taking a look at how you contribute to the dynamic in the relationship. If the relationship has been boring for an extended period of time, take a step back. Do you put energy into trying new things? Do you put energy into trying to, be a part of your partner's world, of their routine? Do you invite them into yours? If these are things that you haven't done for a long time, then it's something that I would seriously consider taking a look at. The second part is you have to make the relationship a priority. You have to spend time investing energy into shifting the dynamic. So what does that mean? I completely understand that a lot of people, maybe you as well, have super busy schedules, right? You are getting up in the morning, you're going to work. By the time you get home, you're exhausted, depending on the type of work that you do. Maybe you're working 7 days a week. Maybe you're in the process of trying to build your own business. Maybe you work from home. So this kind of your home life and your work life are kind of all bleeding together. And you almost feel like you're in this daze, this fog, right? But if you want to change the dynamic of the relationship, if you want things to be more exciting, you're going to have to step outside of your current routine and take a look at the relationship objectively. What are the pieces that are missing? What are the things that you can be doing to make the relationship more exciting? And again, one of the primary things that you should be doing is investing the time. How do you think that you're ever going to be able to change the current dynamic in the relationship if you're not putting forth any energy into doing it? So take a step back. Try to prioritize the relationship, right? Schedule it in if you have to. And I know that seems really just kind of disconnected and disingenuous and not authentic. But the reality is, if you have an incredibly busy schedule and you're trying to make the relationship work, it may require you to have to schedule time with your partner. It may require you to have to cut out pieces, right, of your week in order to be completely present and focused with your significant other. And it's not just about cutting out that time and then sitting there and looking at each other, wondering what you're going to do. Put in an effort. Make plans, try new things, go to that restaurant that you haven't gone to before that just opened up in town. Go to that hike that you've been wanting to go on forever, but you just haven't really been able to make the time. Go on a mini little getaway for the weekend to, the neighboring town if you haven't visited it yet. Whatever it is that you need to do to change the dynamic of the relationship, invest the time. And the third part of this is consistency. You have to be consistent with it. It can't be one of those things where you sit down and you say, oh my God, I'm in such a boring relationship. This has to change. I want more excitement out of this. You invest the time initially, right? You have that initial just surge of energy and the desire to fix things, and you're gung ho and you're excited. And then come a month later, you are back to the old routine. You are back to being your old self. You've fallen back into your old patterns of behavior. What that is going to do is it's going to show your partner, and it's going to affect the relationship in such a way that it shows there is a possibility for you to get out of that boring routine, but you're choosing not to. So it is incredibly important that once you go on this journey, once you make the decision and you commit to changing the dynamic in the relationship, that you stick to it. Because this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not going to be one of those circumstances or situations where you can change it overnight. Now, there will be some potentially immediate changes in the beginning because you're doing new things that you haven't done before, right? So it's going to be very obvious and apparent that things are changing. But what is really going to count and what is really going to make the difference is your ability to keep that going long term. So again, just to reiterate, the 3 things that you can do right now to change the dynamic of the relationship and get out of this boring slump that you're in is, number 1, take accountability. Look at yourself, right? Are you also being boring in the relationship? It's not just about your partner being boring. It's also about you contributing to that level of boringness in the relationship. The second part of that is make time. Invest time in changing the dynamic of the relationship, because if you don't do that, you will continue to perpetually repeat this boring cycle. And the third one is be consistent. Understand that this should be a long-term goal, not a short-term goal, because once you have proven that you have the ability and the energy to invest into the relationship to get it out of this boring slump and you go back to old patterns of behavior, it is just a very clear indication that it is a choice. So if you commit, if you make the choice, stick to it. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. I love to have conversations with people. I love to hear what you have to say. So if you've been in this situation before, if you currently are in this situation, I want to hear from you. I read as many of the comments as possible, and I also respond to as many as I can. Maybe you just want to know a little bit more, right? You want some more detail. You can visit us at www.happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos related to this subject and many other subjects as well. If you want to book a one-on-one coaching session because you feel like you've tried everything and you feel like you're banging your head up against the wall and you just cannot seem to get out of this slump, I would be more than happy to support you through this process. You can book with myself or any of the other amazing coaches that we have on the team via the website as well. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you soon.